Now, is there evidence that a second gunman was involved in the assassination of Robert F. Kennedy? Well, the new lawyer for convicted shooter Sirhan Sirhan says yes, and is seeking a new trial for his client. Attorney William Pepper says that he's quite impressed by the findings of two forensic experts who've concluded that a previously unknown audio recording of the RFK shooting reveals a second gun also fired shots. The tape, made by reporter Stanislav Pruszynski, was uncovered by CNN International senior news writer Brad Johnson. Brad had Pruszynski's recording analyzed by several people, among them Philip van Praag, who was eventually joined by fellow forensic expert Robert Joling. I asked William Pepper about their findings.
Well, I followed it, and I'm quite impressed with the work that they've done. Everything that I've seen and heard about their work. I've read the book that they produced as well, and I'm very pleased with this revelation and with the quality of that work.
Yeah, it appears that what Robert Joling and Philip van Praag are implying is that their evidence shows conclusively that Sirhan Sirhan was wrongly convicted of the assassination of Robert Kennedy. I mean, how do you react to that?
Well, I think that's the conclusion that one inevitably has to draw from the forensics that are involved here.
But how strong, as far as evidence goes, is that?
I think it's quite strong. They have identified the number of shots fired as being 13, from what I understand. They have calibrated very carefully the acoustical differences between the firing of two weapons, and that in itself is extraordinary. So that I think the scientific upshot of that is very powerful evidence.
Given that, then, is there any argument for a new trial for your client?
I would say that there really isn't. We'll be pressing very hard for a new trial. You know, there is a lot of other evidence also that has started to emerge that supports Sirhan's wrongful conviction in this case.
So you'd press for a new trial, but you're not necessarily that confident that you'd get one?
I think, Adrian, these cases, I've been involved in the King assassination case for over a quarter of a century. And what I've learned is that nothing is certain and that justice is certainly not easily attainable, because the political fix sometimes is so strong that it is very difficult to overcome the predilection of an earlier established guilt. But we certainly will try to do everything that we can.
Why was he there, your client, with a gun, and why did he fire it?
Sirhan has been was hypno-programmed in months prior to the assassination. He does not remember at all why he was there and what he did and what happened there. There's an indication of that, of course, and it's been commented on by a number of people who have seen photographs of him after the arrest. I've spent nearly 3 hours with him not so long ago, and it's quite clear that he still does not recall. Now, he was told that he did this. He was told that he was guilty, and so he said, they told me this. I don't remember it. I was there. I had a gun. I actually discharged the weapon. He fired 8 shots of that weapon, although 6 were fired when his hand was pinned to the steam table. So he said at the time, I guess I just assumed that I did it. Everyone told me that. So the whole problem of Sirhan's presence and why he was there and firing the gun goes much further back in terms of him being how he was used as a patsy in this. We have now evidence about that, and we've been developing that.
In your view, who was behind the assassination of Senator Robert Kennedy? I mean, if this was a conspiracy, how large a conspiracy are we talking about in your view?
Adrian, I don't know the answer to that question. We've just begun, you know, I've only become involved in this case with a hands-on way over a course of really the last year and a half. So we don't know a lot of those answers. We do know, frankly, I think we are having leads now because I have become involved in the case. People have started to come forward and share information with us that has never been available before. That's the first thing. The second thing is we do know that Bob was killed with a bullet fired from a pistol that was no more than 1 inch from the back of his right ear. Now, this was evident from Dr. Noguchi's autopsy report, but of course it's been swept aside. Bob was hit with 4 bullets were fired at him from the rear. From the rear now. 2 went through, one through the shoulder pad and one through the chest cavity that lodged in a ceiling tile that was actually behind Sirhan, where Sirhan was standing. So the senator, the shots from the senator were from behind, and the tracing of the bullets was slightly upward. So that's where the assassin was firing, and that's where he was standing behind the senator. And we have a view as to who that person was, but a good deal more probing and evidentiary work has to be done.
William Pepper, well, the 40th anniversary of Robert Kennedy's assassination is in just a few weeks. We'll continue to follow the story and speak to others, including those who believe that Sirhan Sirhan was the lone gunman. Now it's time to take a look at what's happening weather-wise in your part of the world.